Is it live? I can't tell. Oh, okay. I always try and wait for the countdown, and the countdown hadn't started. So if I was making silly faces and it was live, well, sorry about that. It is pouring out there. My husband's alarm goes off a little bit before mine, and I usually sleep through it. And he got up. He went and listened at the window. He looked out the window. He came back. He said, "I'm changing your alarm." And I said, "What?" And he said, "It's raining." And I said, "Okay." And I rolled over and went back to sleep. And apparently he did too. And he didn't feed the cats. But everybody just went back to sleep. Like the cats the cats weren't driving me crazy. So I was like, huh. But you know, it's raining and it's dark. So, well, we have a long one to get to today. So I hope you are safe and dry where you are. It's going to be a wet one for the next 3 days. All right. It is January 22nd. Our title is The Light of Life. And our author is Jennie H. Croft. And this was published in Unity in June of 1930. And God said, "Let there be light." And light came into being. People walk in the darkness of ignorance, stumbling along and struggling against obstacles that impede their progress and make painful their way. Their eyes have not opened and lifted to the light that illumines the pathway of light. Plodding along in the lowlands, they miss the wider vision of the hills, and their days indeed seem monotonous, with tasks to be done and trials to be endured, without real joy to lighten their burdens. The days go by until a time comes when something hitherto unknown stirs within them, something to which they perforce give heed. They then raise their eyes from the circumscribed reach of their narrow life and behold a light playing upon the hillside before them. Its rays seem to enfold them. An unfamiliar warmth pervades their being, and their soul awakens to a startling new impulse that demands expression. What is this new impelling force that animates them? No previous experience can give them answer. They must find the solution for themselves. This is the beginning of people's rise from blind acceptance of moral limitations into an understanding of the divine possibilities and potentialities within them. The inner voice, and God said, bids the creative spirit to come forth and become active in manifesting this new and rare material abiding in people's soul. During the process of recreation going on in their consciousness, people become aware of their undeveloped mental and spiritual powers, their own divine nature, their inheritance from God. Without this knowledge, people are not really alive. When they possess this knowledge, it is as if God were repeating itself in the individual and breathing into their nostrils the breath of life until they become a living soul, conscious of the indwelling activity, which Jesus said was the light of humanity, the light which lighteth every person coming into this world. People have said that a person must be uplifted before they can uplift others. They must live the life if they would teach it. They must be a veritable light on the path if they would have others walk in the way of the Lord. If I be lifted from the earth, will draw all people unto myself. All right. That was a really long reading, and now I have to deal with it. No, I don't have to deal with it. I get to deal with it. And that's one of those things. It's about changing language. Instead of having to deal with it, I get to deal with it. And that's part of that creative impulse. Okay. Sometimes if we just relanguage things, It'll change our attitude. It'll change our perception. It will help us to lift our eyes. Okay. And down at the bottom, she said, you have to be uplifted before you can lift others. And I agree with that, but I also agree with, if you want to know something, teach it. Like, if you want to really get good at the science of mind, then teach it. Okay. Yes, you have to be a practitioner to teach the certificated classes, but you don't have to be a teacher to create your own, to do the book studies, although most of the book studies are done by practitioners. One of my favorites, and it's not even a book study, we do this Philosophy Friday. And thank God we have a really good monitor who comes up with these amazing topics. And then we just talk. And each one of us is uplifting everyone else with the discussion. And that's one of the things that Reverend Jesse said yesterday. He said, look, every single person out there is using the science of mind principles. We're all using the same principles to get through our life. The question is how many of us are conscious that we're using the principles? And I think that's what it is when we uplift those eyes. Because she said it's as if God was breathing in our nostrils. You know, breathing the breath of life within our nostrils. That's it. It's like when we become aware of. It's like suddenly I'm aware that these principles exist. Suddenly I am aware that when I change my language from having to deal with to getting to deal with, you know, I'm aware that that works. I am aware that when I smile, even if nobody can see the smile, it changes the way my voice sounds. You know, I've done, on the Sunday service, I've done the inner healing. And I've had, the inner healing experience, which is that first thing we do in the Sunday service. And I've had people come up to me and go, wow, you know, you really brought tears to my eyes. And I've had people come up another day that I've done it and go, wow, I really feel good after that. And it all has to do with the mood that I'm in when I read it. You know, if I'm in that contemplative kind of, I hesitate to use the word melancholy, but, you know, contemplative melancholy, then yes, when I read that inner healing experience, I'm going to bring you to tears if you're listening, if you're paying attention, you know. And sometimes when I do the after, the closing treatment, like yesterday, I felt like I did a really good closing treatment and I really felt it. And when I got off stage, you know, as I'm coming off the platform, one person's clapping and nobody else is clapping. And that's okay because it's weird to clap after people pray, but she really liked the prayer, you know, and my tech partner, when I got over there, she was like, that was really amazing. And, you know, but I was feeling good because we're doing back to the basics. And this is why I said, if you want to know it, teach it, where I, you know, lined out, okay, these are the steps of treatment. And then I gave a brief example and then I did the treatment and I didn't have anything in particular to treat about. And I love doing those kind of treatments when I don't have anything particular to treat about, because then I just open my mouth and whatever comes out is what comes out. Like I trust God to put the words in my mouth that people need to hear. And here's the truth. The words that come out of my mouth may only be for me, and that's okay. You know, I hope they benefited other people. That's the same thing when I do this. I believe that I started doing this 4 years ago. At the beginning, it's hard to believe that was 4 years ago. The beginning of the pandemic, when we didn't know anything. We didn't have enough information, like how long do viruses live on surfaces? You know, is the mask effective? Is it not effective? You know, all this, we didn't have anything. You know, we had so little information, and people were basically locked in their houses, you know. And I was like, we need to give people some daily, hey, here, you know, you need this. but it was as much for me as it was for them. And I really think between the books that I have chosen, or like the last one, let's see. I think I chose the first book because I was already doing it. The next book was suggested, the next two books were suggested to me, and then Jessie told me about this one, and I really wanted to do this one. So, you know, I think it's really up-leveled my practice of the science of mind. I am aware of, and so, like, I walk through life with my eyes lifted up. I see the hills. I see the light. I am filled with the light, and I'm hoping that I'm filled enough with the light that it spills out of me, and I'm shining my light all over everybody else. And so everybody else is, you know, and it's not that I'm perforce teaching the science of mind, but I'm living the science of mind in such a way that people are going, what does she know that I don't know? And we don't have to talk about science of mind. You know, we don't. We can, but we don't have to. But what I'm doing is I'm living my life in such a way that people are looking at me going, well, what does she know that I don't know? You know, and what is she doing that I'm not doing? And hey, I see a little bit of what she's doing, and let me try that. You know, such as the smiling. Because science does say that fake it until you make it, the smile works. If you get up and you are in a grumpy mood, go to the mirror and smile at yourself. You know, you don't even have to see yourself smiling. Just the physical act of smiling makes your body and your brain go, huh, okay. And it shifts your hormones, you know, and it works. And so that's what we're talking about by the science of mind. It's like all of these little things that literally change your body, change your mind, change your, you can't change your soul because your soul is what it is. Because that one, you know, that belongs to God. So you can't change it. But maybe what you're doing is accessing more of your soul. You are allowing more of that spirit to come into expression through your life. That is, what was our title? The light of life. That's the light of life. You know, when we let more of that spirit come into expression through us, when we live our life with vigor and vitality and enthusiasm and interest, when we live our lives like that, when we are curious, because when we're curious is when we're creative, you know, when we allow that creative expression to flow through us and we're like, yes. You know, it's dark and dreary and raining and Monday, and I am ready to tackle this week. You know, I have stuff that I want to get done. I have stuff that I need to get done, you know, and I'm ready to go. And you see how excited she is? She likes it too. This is Rita. But she's drawn to that. She's drawn to passion. She is drawn to passion. She loves when her people are excited. She's like, oh, I want to be in on that. That's what I want. She also is a 14-pound lap cat who loves to nap with you. So, you know, don't let her kid you. She'll put you to sleep in a second. But she's drawn to that passion. And that passion, whatever you have, whatever you're passionate about, do more of that. You know? Do more of that. Whatever it is that you're passionate about. I saw a meme not too long ago, and it said, whatever you're passionate about, do more of that. Whatever you're not passionate about, do less of that. Adjust accordingly. Adjust your life accordingly. The good thing for me is what my mortgage paying job, you know, because I have, you know, a couple of jobs. My mortgage paying job, the job that absolutely, I'm passionate about that too. I'm passionate about that. One of these people that I would like to say I'm friends with in the Philosophy Friday, she is also passionate about her mortgage paying job. But we have similar mortgage paying jobs. Our jobs are supporting people's health. You know, one of the reasons why I became a practitioner and then a minister is because I looked at the Eastern way of healing versus the Western way and went, you know, there's something to it. If you want somebody to remain healthy, you got to treat the whole person. You got to treat them body, mind, and soul. And like I said, there's absolutely nothing wrong with your soul. Your soul belongs to God. And it's that part of God that you have individualized for yourself. You know, there's nothing wrong with your soul. When I say body, mind, and soul, what I'm encouraging people to do is to access their soul. Allow more of that soul expression to come through. Which reminds me of the title of a book called Soul Music. Which, yeah, is a whole different thing. I'm a huge Terry Pratchett fan. You want to talk about commentary? Terry Pratchett, his books, while they are fantasy, you know, because they have witches and wizards and dragons and death is an anthropomorphic character that walks around. You know, they were running commentaries on society. And he was brilliant. And I'm glad to have known him. Not personally, but, you know, I've read almost everything that he's written. There's a few books that I haven't. But, yeah. All right. The light of life. Find out what you're passionate about and do more of that. And then you're going to be living the science of mind principles a little more consciously. All right. I hope I did her justice because it was a nice long reading. And yeah, there are too many of us who are just getting through life. And life isn't meant to be that. Life is meant to be lived. So when we can look up from our daily toil and see the hills and the valleys, see the absolute beauty around us, to recognize that it is all God around us, to look into each other's eyes and look into our own eyes and see that spirit looking back at us. Well, yeah, that's a life worth living. All right. If he would teach, they must be a veritable light on the path. I don't know. What is the, yeah, I'm going to go with that. I can't pull directly from her work a mission. So I would say the mission today, should we choose to accept it, is to find something that you're passionate about and try and do a smidge more or a lot more, but a smidge more of that every day. Every day. Do what you're passionate about. Even if it's a hobby, you know, do that and get those creative juices flowing and feel that and see if it doesn't help start the mechanisms of changing your world. All right. The other mission that I give you is the same mission I give you every day, which is the mission of it's a spiritual practice of self-care. Okay. Do something loving for yourself, do something kind for yourself, do something compassionate for yourself. Be it one thing, be it three things, doesn't matter. Be it all things. Actually, that's the goal, is that in the long run, everything you do for yourself and others is loving, kind, and compassionate. The easy stuff to do lovingly, kindly, and compassionately is wonderful. When we can do the hard stuff lovingly, kindly, and compassionately, we know we've got there, because that's one step closer to a world that works for everybody. Love, kindness, compassion. Doing everything lovingly, kindly, and compassionately. And I'm just going to give you my jumping off points. If you have other suggestions, feel free to put them in the comments. What do you do for yourself every day that is loving, kind, and compassionate? Your tea ritual in the morning that brings you great joy is one of them. But what else? I always start with taking a deep breath before you speak, so that you can think about what you're about to say, so that you respond rather than react. It's easier to not say it than to make amends for something you didn't mean to say. Take a deep breath before you speak. And you'll speak to yourself more than you will anybody else, all the more reason to. Okay. Also included in that, take a walk, take a nap, take a break, which pretty much covers everything for me. Take a walk. Sometimes you just need to walk away from a situation, but it's also about getting the oxygen moving, getting the blood moving, getting your muscles moving, warming up. Take a nap. Well, we all know that. Today, 2 days in a row now, I have been denied my opportunity to work out. Now, yesterday I could have gotten up and gone for the walk and should have, knowing that I was probably not going to get it for the next 3 days. But no, curled up and went back to sleep. It was too cold. It was too cold. So, I say that, and yet I was in the park when it was 28. But, take a nap, take a nap, and then take a break. Take a break is about a new perspective. Okay. Sometimes if you are just stuck, go do something else. Go do something else. Because then you can come back with fresh eyes or a fresh perspective. Or while you are resting, the solution will naturally bubble up. You've already got all your answers within you. Like, I'm not telling you anything you don't know. All I'm doing is reminding you of what you do. And hopefully it'll come bubbling up throughout the day. I also am a big believer in eating dessert first. Do I do it every day? No. Do I do it occasionally? Yes. Do I believe that chocolate is the first step to fixing anything? Yes. But I also, when I say eat dessert first, what I mean is don't save the good stuff. There are a variety of reasons for doing this. One, your life is a special occasion. Treat it as such. Two, why are you holding on to stuff for a special occasion when by the time you get around to using it, the people that you want to share it with may not be there. Maybe they're traveling, maybe they, moved on. So don't wait for a special occasion. Make the occasion special. And then I always, because the world, if you watch the news, the world seems crazy. Okay. The world is not crazy. The world is the world. And there's a whole lot of good going on in the world. But what I want to remind you is, especially if you're watching the news, that no matter what is going on in the world, no matter what is going on in your life, joy is a quality of God. Therefore, joy is a quality of you. Please make room for joy. Joy is akin to hope, and we need that. So, make room for joy. All right. The rest of the suggestions are basic self-care. Do something to engage your mind and your body, whatever that looks like for you. Drink plenty of water. You know how important hydration is, which makes me wonder I didn't bring my water with me today. Drink plenty of water. Hydration. Your brain works better, your body works better, your skin looks better when you are well hydrated. It is equally important at the height of the summer as it is in the height of the winter for the same reasons. Not because you're sweating, but because you're dehydrated. Just in the winter, you're dehydrated because the heat's running all the time, just sucking that moisture out of you. Okay? So drink plenty of water. Get that early in your day bright light. Yeah, it's dark and dreary out there. There will be no bright light for probably 4 days. I think around Thursday is when we might get a break in the weather. So artificial light will work too. What you want is 5 to 10 minutes of bright light on your face and your forearms. Now, the artificial light will not necessarily help you with your vitamin D. If you want that support, or you need more than the light in your house is giving you, then Google sun lamp or seasonal affect disorder light. At this point, I think you can it's a light bulb you can order and screw into a light that you already have. So it shouldn't be expensive. Don't spend a whole lot of money on it, but it will help. Okay. You will have more energy during the day and you will sleep better at night. It's called a circadian rhythm. Yeah. All right. And then I guess I'm at my Ernest Holmes quote, open the windows of your soul, allow the breath of heaven to remind you, you do live in heaven right here, right now. It's all around us all the time. What our author today was talking about is we tend to keep our eyes downcast instead of looking up, looking around and recognizing it's all God. Okay. I've taken to the phrase that we are electrons dancing. We are electrons dancing. We're all made of the same substance, whether we live or not. The difference is that those of us who are living things, we've got that spark of God that that makes us alive. And so it's up to us to lift our eyes up and recognize that it's all God. Okay? And then we will see, because what that phrase tells me is, one, it's all God, and two, heaven isn't a place. Or as Ernest says, heaven is not a locality. Heaven is not a locality. Love that. It's an actual phrase from Ernest Holmes. It's a state of mind. It's a state of consciousness. Once we learn to create that consciousness, that heavenly consciousness, you know, any place can become heaven. Milton recognized the power of the mind. Ernest Holmes recognized the power of the mind. That's why we are called science of mind. Because our mind has so much influence on us. If we lift our eyes up and recognize that it's all God, imagine what we could do. And a quick way to get into that heavenly mindset, look for the good and praise it. Look for the good and praise it. Emma Curtis Hopkins. There's a reason why she is called the teacher of teachers. Okay? All right. So count your blessings and start with the little ones. Start with the little ones. Sometimes we want to start with the big ones and we only have like 2 big ones. And then we go and then we start looking for the little ones and then we go, oh, yeah, because it's the little ones that add up to the big ones. Okay? If your life is a blessing, it's because of all the little goods in your life. So, okay. Moving forward into yes, no, maybe, science. We are Creative Life Spiritual Center, Creative Life Spark. I'm the running Rev Ryan on the social medias that I am on. I commend the social medias to you, especially the YouTube channel. I've referenced, yes, January is back to the basics. So I've referenced Reverend Jesse's talk from yesterday. It's really good and really amazing. So, you know, I commend it to you. Either scroll back a couple of videos and watch it on Facebook and then you get the music, or scroll forward a couple of videos and watch it on, or no, go to the YouTube channel, Creative Life Spiritual Center, and watch it on YouTube. YouTube has very strict rules about music, which is why there's no music in the YouTube channel. And our Sunday services only stay on Facebook for 30 days because of the music. We don't want to trample on anybody's music rights, so that's why we do it the way we do it. So, you know, go check it out. Go check it out. Then you can hear the awesome prayer that I did yesterday after Reverend Jesse's talk. So stay tuned for that. Okay. Yep. If you want to know what's going on with the center, email info@creativelife.org. That will get you on the constant contact. Okay. Yep. I'm at the part where I get to encourage you to have a great day, a wondrous day, a fantastic day, a magical day, an enchanted day, a wonderful day, an awesome day, an amazing day, a go dance in the rain day, a wear your boots day, a bundle up from the it's gonna warm up today day, a lift up your eyes day, a teach somebody something day, a breathe the breath of life day, a recognize that you are the light day, let your light shine day, jazz hands, a good day. And if that is too much pressure, simply have a day. You are enough just as you are. You're a beloved child of God. You are spirit in motion, God in action, a brilliant light, a divine spark, or as Reverend Jesse likes to call us, a godling. All right? Explore the truth of your being. Get to know the source of your being. Get to know who God knows you to be. And to do that, you got to peel back the layers of everything anybody has ever told you you are. And I mean everybody. Stereotypes, archetype, gender normatives, society, culture, religion, ad executives, marketing people, peel it all away. Okay? Get to know who God knows you to be. Because I can promise you one thing. The person that God knows you to be is good. All right? Person that God knows you to be is good. So, all right. Where am I going now? I don't know. But I do need to go to work. So I'm going to remind you, Reverend David will be on around 5 p.m. with you. I'll be back with you around 9 a.m. Take care of yourself. Know that you are loved. And I will see you next time.